in order for one to spot trend, one has to travel extensively, and some of the few places I like to go to look at trends is Tokyo, Japan, London, China. Places like in China, like Shanghai, are becoming to be very trend-setting. So you need to go to these places and look at what people are doing and how they are doing it, and try to get inspiration from there. And that's probably the way that I try to stay ahead of the curve and trying to get ideas that I can continue to bring my business forward. If you were to ask me this question about 5-6 years ago, that a lot of Singaporeans go out there and they're very sheltered and get beaten up, and then they come back and say never again, I kind of agree with you. But I think today the Singaporean businessmen are much more resilient. They are also coming to a reality that the market in Singapore is really small. The need to go out, and strike it out there is a necessity. And I think that, and I also see a lot of success overseas. I mean, I was just in Siem Reap, as I come up from their new international airport, I see kopitiam there, and I'm very happy to see that, So I have not been to Yangon for a long time, but I heard a lot of Singaporean brands are thriving very, very well in Yangon. So I think we are making inroads, but I think that now we should really put our energy together, hopefully, and I'm sure the government wants to do that too, to help SMEs who already have inroads into these places, to help us even further to penetrate the market better, because the local players of these regional countries are also getting smarter and better. So we have to look after our own domestic market. We also have to look at how we can penetrate the regional market deeper, and it's a lot of work, but that needs to be done. That really needs to be done. In February this year, I was invited by JETRO, which is the Japanese equivalent of IE Singapore, to go to Tokyo to conduct some business matching, with Japanese operators who may be interested to bring their product to Singapore. And they've also invited similar operators from Indonesia, from Vietnam, Thailand, Philippines, and Malaysia for this trip. There were a total of 8 of us. One of them is an Indonesian company. I can't remember the name of that company. And they have, over the last, they started in 1999. When they purchased the Crystal J, the Baker's Inn, and the Sushi Tei franchises, and they told me they have 150 stores today, and by year 2020 they will hit 200 stores. So I was very impressed with that, because I have started the business earlier than them. I'm only at 50 stores, But what really struck me was, in my conversation with the CEO, was that he says moving forward, we are creating our own brands. We have already learned the art of creating brands and running stores. We are not going to buy franchises anymore. They either go directly to countries like Tokyo, London, or maybe wherever. They're actually giving us a bypass, and they're creating the stores themselves. Another friend of mine who sold a franchise to a neighboring country, the franchisor of the neighboring country opened 4 stores. But he emulated the concept, the franchisor emulated the concept, and go on to open 50 stores of the same cuisine. So we have situations like this, so what do we do, So because of that, I think we still need to learn to recreate and find the little niche in the market that we must be able to navigate. So on that note, I'd like to quote LKY, and I remember once hearing or read that he says that Singapore must always be a little vehicle navigating among the big trucks and the lorries of a highway. We must always maintain that mindset. We will never be a big truck controlling the highway. We must be able to learn to navigate, and that's where skill, dexterity, creativity and courage comes in. If you can't cook, you better have a good chef. I mean, there are CEO who runs hospitals and they are not doctors. That doesn't mean you cannot manage hospitals. So I don't cook, that doesn't mean that I cannot run restaurant. Although I'm starting to cook now. It's never too late. So I think it is the food and beverage product is very, very important. You have that is the core part of the business. If you cannot get that right, you cannot operate restaurants. But as you scale your business to be a mean business, then business acumen comes in. That you must understand. You must know what's important, what's not important. Whether to tell the chef to cut his cost by 2 points down because rent just went up by 3 points. And then the chef said, I can't cut my food cost. If not, my food will not be good enough. But something got to give. That's where business acumen comes in. So that's why it needs a balance. That's where the balance comes in. And like I said, since it is not an option and growth is not a choice, as your business grow further, then I think the business integrity has to come into play. And still keeping the food and beverage product to its core and has to be good. I can't answer you that question because for the last 25 years no one invested in me. So we have grown this business from starting point of 250,000 and so far no one has injected a dollar into me. The only good thing that in order to embrace the exponential growth in year 2009 with the opening of the integrated resort and the many malls that opened the last seven years, to take advantage of that growth, of the window of growth available, I managed to convince a very good bank of mine, a banker friend of mine, to extend a loan to us because just on our own it's not enough to grow the business. So yeah, I suppose there must be people who wants to always invest in the food and beverage business. Maybe I should start asking, because I never ask people to invest in me.